If you don't fill them up, this is what you end up with.
No ducks, no geese, no other signs of a healthy pond. Michael Sear gets frustrated looking at the mud piles at Vancouver's Vanier Park.
This is a lovely pond when it's full of water. You can see the pond lilies here. These bulrushes should be full of redwings.
The ecology enthusiast blames a Vancouver Park Board bylaw introduced 3 years ago. The rules shut off the taps to ponds and fountains that don't recirculate water, saying it's necessary for conservation.
It seems that it would be impossible and frankly irresponsible to maintain these ponds as if it was back 50 years ago when there was a lot of rain in the city.
Sear isn't the only resident concerned about the dried out ponds. Another resident started a petition late last month about this pond in Memorial South Park in South Vancouver. More than 900 people have signed so far.
All across the city, the water features have been allowed to fall into disrepair. Again, they're filled with garbage and invasive weeds.
The petitioners are also concerned about what this would mean for wildlife that depend on the ponds.
It used to be full of ducks. We're on a migratory flyway. It was always full of ducks and songbirds stopping to rest and refuel. There was a family of raccoons living under the wharf there. They've left.
The park board, however, says that it wants to conserve water to mitigate against drought and climate change. Most of Vancouver's water comes from the North Shore's Capilano Reservoir, where the city gets its drinking water.
It's an incredible waste of resources. People have to acknowledge that climate change is hitting and things are going to have to change.
Sear says he recognizes the need for water conservation, but he is also concerned about green spaces for wildlife and how it contributes to our mental well-being.
If they sat down and tried to work out the value of a pond, the value of the wildlife, they would come up with a sum that would move them this direction.
The park board has made exceptions in the past. 6 fountains were reactivated. In an email to CBC, a park board spokesperson says these ponds could be considered later this year. But for now, the ponds will remain as they are. Shaurya Kshatri, CBC News, Vancouver.